it's really a great project. And I have a lot of appreciation for it because the problem in Rhode Island is that we are very low on supply of housing, and you've identified this. And with your experience of 35 years in the construction and development space, you know what it takes to bring a project like this that very few can. And developing is not easy. It's not for the faint of heart. There's a lot of risk that goes involved with it. What inspired you to take such a risk and such a leap of faith when you started your first development? Like, what was that?
Well, the experience has been in housing of all types, and the basis of all that is the site. You have to have a site. So we were looking for a project. We were looking for development sites for residential. It wasn't hard to see the demand. We know the supply and demand equation favors the landlord and favors the seller.
Sure does.
So, but finding the development opportunity is not so easy. A lot of good property out there. It's hard to find a good seller who needs a solution to the land use problem. So, and that was been our experience in mostly Maryland and Virginia with large scale entitlements. So there's sites that are surplused. And Rhode Island and Southern Mass has a surplus of older industrial, commercial, retail properties that need to be turned over, or there are large holdings that have been in an estate for whatever reason and haven't been ready for development. So taking those properties through the entitlement process, trying to envision what the best land use decision is, and then working with the community to bring these projects to life has been, it's for me, it's been fun. It's enjoyable, and you're developing a community.
Tim, I know part of what drives you and part of your passion, I learned, is that you love the fact that your projects bring so much activity, so much economic activity into these marketplaces. Now, with 700 plus housing units, and then the roadway being finished for the boulevard, and we'll talk about that in a second, Center of New England Boulevard, now finally attaching to the industrial park over there, about time. How many construction jobs do you think are going to be entered into the Rhode Island market? And how is this going to impact our local economy here? And how much money do you think it's going to be putting into the local economy?
Sure, it's hard to put a number on it, but it'll be hundreds of construction jobs over the life of the project. You're looking at a lot of construction, and there's a multiplier effect from that. Usually people that work in these communities, they spend their money in those communities. And, with interest rates going up, it has hurt the construction industry in a very real way. It's, in the housing sector in particular, you've seen starts have been down. Yes, deliveries are, you see one article that says deliveries are up, and the next article says starts are down.
Starts are way down now, yeah.
Well, they're down for a reason, because there's a big lag. It takes a long time to get these properties and these projects approved.
Sure.
And so what you're seeing is the tail of all that. Now that pipeline has run dry because a lot of projects had stalled with the increase in interest rates. Seeing that come back is going to help communities. It's going to put people back to work. The trades, all the consultants that are active in these housing projects. It is a big job generator, and we do have estimates that we did for our conceptual design plan, and that was hundreds of millions of dollars of impact to the communities. I'm glad you mentioned the bridge work there. So Center of New England Boulevard stalled out in 2009. It was never completed over a creek. So that has been a sore spot for the project and for the community, not having that roadway finished. And so I think these contracts and the other contracts that are in place and other settlements that are happening at the Center of New England, and this is all in the back of the receiver and the creditors, a lot of money coming in to be able to fund not only the repaving of the boulevard in front of the retail, but also the completion of the bridge over that wetland area. So altogether, about $5 million worth of road work is going on right this second, and that has been on the drawing boards for a decade, which is remarkable to think. The other thing I might add is we're committed to 18% affordable housing units in the project, and that we're very proud of that, and there'll be more detail on that coming forward. But in this case, it's 130 units, and they'll be affordable to 80% of average household income.
That's amazing.
But it was pretty clear that the town council and the planning commission wanted to see affordable housing.
Oh, sure.
And yes, we could have fought them, but they could have dragged us out. And one of the things that kills these projects is time.
Yeah.
And we could not afford to dance around for a year without affordable housing. We would lose.
Yeah.
We wouldn't win the argument anyway. We are eligible for tax credits, and the tax credit program is a well-worn path with all over the country, and certainly in Rhode Island, there's a push for affordable housing. So a lot had changed since that consent agreement. A lot had changed in the political landscape, and it was clear that we were going to do affordable housing here. And we've been through that in Maryland and Virginia for decades. So we know our way around the affordable housing world. And one of the trends there is 100% affordable, 100% affordable. So how do you do that? Well,
Wow.
you have buildings set aside
Yep.
that are that are geared towards that. They're managed effectively. You have to qualify. When you say affordable housing, you have to qualify for that. It's not given to you.